Hey everyone, it's Jessica here with a cherry on top, and I am back with another round of cherry challenges for the month of February using a sketch with a twist challenge from our message boards on acherryontop.com. So I'm going to start my layout with a textured sheet of cardstock by Color Block and my little spatula tool and some of the Finnabair clear gesso. So I'm just applying that to my whole page. I let that dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and dump some of the Shimmerz paints in Jennie blue on my layout here, and I'm just smushing it around using some packaging. So I think this is a super easy way to apply mixed media. It's quick, fast, but it does take a little bit of dry time. But I don't mind that so much. I'm going to actually add some more layers here. So I'm pulling out some Blue Lagoon in one of the Inklings from Shimmerz, and I'm going to apply some of that color as well just by flicking it on with my paintbrush and some water just to create a little bit more dimension in that, and then I will set that aside to dry. So I actually let that dry overnight because I had to get my kiddos into bed anyway. So this is me coming back in the next day, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to add another layer on here with some, I think this is the Oakie Bear blue color. It's a little bit of a darker shade of blue, but I just wanted to add a little bit more color in there. So I just kind of dumped on some of that color, and then here I'm just creating a marbled effect using some of the white Shimmerz. So I really love the way that that looks with all of those beautiful layers. I could keep going and add more, but I know I'm going to cover most of this up anyway, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that background. I've got this cut file by Cut to You, and it has two different parts to it. It did have a title piece underneath, but I'm just using the sun part of it today. So I cut it out of some Vicki Boutin Foundations paper on the poster board setting on my Cricut, and then I'm just going to go in with the sponge and a couple colors here in Shimmerz. I think the one's Daffodil. Can't remember what the other one is offhand, but I'll try and link them below for you if I remember what they are. And I am just using these two colors here to create kind of an ombre effect on my sun with my little sponge. And I really liked how easy this was to blend these colors with the sponge. So I'm actually going to use this again on another layout for a background and see how that turns out, because I just really liked how soft that turned out, and it just looks so pretty and it's just so easy. So definitely a technique that I'm going to use again. So again, I'm going to create some marbling on this one as well. So I'm going to flick on some of that white Shimmerz paint on here, and I'm just going to continue building up these layers. So I'm going to leave this on this Cricut mat and on the paper, and then I am just going to keep kind of adding to it as I go here when I'm doing the rest of my layout. So as it dries, I'm going to pull it back over. I'm going to add some more of this yellow splatter on here and to give it some dimension there, set it aside, clean up my area, and I'm going to keep the top part of the sun white. I really like how that pops on the blue, so I'm going to leave that how it is, and I'll glue that down here in a bit. I will go ahead and work on my photo at this point. I've got my date stamp here programmed in. I like to keep my photos in my albums in date order, so I know exactly what I need to scrap and work on. And I put the dates on all of my photos when I print them from my home printer, which is a Canon IP8720, I think, if I remember right. And I actually just had to get a new one. Mine lasted for literally 10 years, so I think that's pretty darn good for a printer. And that's like the best luck that I've ever had with a printer, and I love it. So I can print large 12 by 12s. I can print, I have to print them on bigger paper, like 13 by 19 inch paper, but then I cut them down to 12 by 12. But I just love that printer. So here I am, just layering up my photo. I'm creating a whole bunch of layers. So the sketch that I'm using for cherry challenges has some papers that go pretty much the whole way across the page, and then some decorative border punches or border strips on the top and the bottom. So I'm kind of shrinking mine down and doing the sketch just based off of my photo here. So I'm going to put all of my layers, like all the pattern papers it had in the sketch, on my photo and behind my photo, and I'm going to rip this one to make it look like the sketch had, and then I'm going to add some decorative borders as well on the top and bottom, and maybe even the sides. I don't know, we'll see what happens here. I really like a lot of layers in my photos lately, so that's kind of what I've been going with. So that's just what I'm doing here. I'm using the Coast to Coast collection by I think it's by American Crafts. And I am just using a whole bunch of different pattern papers from the smaller paper pad to layer behind my photo here, which is a sweet little photo of my baby girl from last summer. And she was just being a cute little beach bum and enjoying the sun and the sand. So with her little sun hat, and she's just adorable. She's so sweet. And she's here too with me right now. So she's just playing. But I am pulling in the sun again because I want to add a few more little layers of this gold/yellow paint color. I really, really love it. It's getting to where I like the way that it looks now with all these beautiful layers, splatters, marbled effect, and I'm almost ready to add it to my page. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit more. I might add some white splatters again. I can't remember. But yeah, so it's just a matter of letting all those layers dry and getting it to where you like the way that it looks. And I love the way that this blue looks, but I just dried a little bit. I ended up actually running it through my hot laminator to finish drying and flatten that out because it did kind of rough up my paper a little bit. It was warped and wrinkled a little bit, so I ended up just running it through my hot laminator to smooth everything out. And then here's my little border strips. I pulled out some dies by Spellbinders, which are in a Cherry on Top shop. I'll link them below for you because I love this set. I have been using these so much. I just love this little scallop decorative edge. It's literally the perfect size, and I just love it. It's just so cute. It has like a little beveled edge or a little punched edge, and it's just adorable. And it comes with 4 different ones, I think, 4 or 5. So oh yeah, I do add some more white splatters here. So I'm not quite done with the sun yet. I keep adding to it. But yeah, I love those borders, and I think like everybody needs a set because I've just been using them so much. So as you can see, I do cover up most of the mixed media, and it's just kind of peeking out, but that's okay. That's actually what I wanted in the long run anyway. So you can see my kind of sketch design there in my photo. I forgot to turn my camera back on for a section of this video, so I've added a whole bunch of stuff right now, but it's okay. You guys get the idea. I'm just basically adding embellishments at this point and finishing up the sun. I did glue down the outside portion of my sun cut file with my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and then I'm just pulling out a bunch of embellishments from this collection to add. So I love this collection. It's actually a travel collection, but I'm finding various uses for all of these beautiful travel collections. So obviously this is a beach layout, and it's just perfect for this. I love the colors of it. It's like not a traditional coloring of typical beach layouts, but I just absolutely love it. I've been using them for camping layouts too, which is really fun. So I'm just going to continue layering embellishments in here, and I'm going to pop some music in here, and then I'll show you at the end the finished result. added all of those beautiful goodies on there, and I've added a lot more embellishments and some thread, as well as my title piece by Color Cast Designs. So here's the finished layouts. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this process today. I hope I've inspired you to create something beautiful, and feel free to play along with those cherry challenges on our message boards on acherryontop.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.